Hey everyone, welcome to Sunday Night Coffee Talk on the Radical Geek YouTube channel. So we have a lot going on here this evening, but a lot of it's real short. We're going to talk about cold brew coffee, and we'll make cold brew coffee, but I'm a bit of a cheater tonight because I did make cold brew coffee ahead of time so I could enjoy it during our stream. However, you can't make cold brew coffee in an instant. So we had to start it, early mornings yesterday so I could have it today. The pot that we make today won't be ready until tomorrow evening. So let's see who's on today. Boy, I'm a shaggy mess. Need a haircut still. So Dennis is here. Lisa's joined us. Air Fry Auntie is here. And Great Life is here. Blue Dove is here. Jen has joined us, says Happy Independence Day to everyone. So Reikwin has joined us. Happy 4th of July. And Reikwin says they're in hound dog heaven. They cooked their first sirloin from their cow stash. Oh, they took the fat off and put it in the air fryer for crispy deliciousness. That does sound really good. Stacy Strong is here. Oh, and happy birthday. I hope it was fantastic. And my number one gift to you is that I will not sing the happy birthday song. You're welcome. I have many talents, but singing is not one of them. So let's see. Oh, and Betsy's joined us. Hey, Betsy. Oh, and that's fine. You're going to be bouncing on your new mini tramp that you got for $20. Wow. So, and Amazon usually sells it for $99. So 5 minutes twice a day, I bet you can do it. Although I will tell you, trampoline jumping is super hard. So kudos to you. That's some tough work. So let's see. So we'll get started today. Like I said, we're going to talk about cold brew coffee. And we'll wait a little bit through the stream. But since I made a big deal about making sure you comment on that Siphon Brew, our $100 cup of very strange coffee, our elephant poop coffee, I want to make sure you all have a chance. If you didn't already, go and comment there. I put the link to that YouTube here in this chat section. I don't know that my scrolling up there helps you at all, but it's up there. Make sure that you have done so. And the reason is because I have a flat iron pepper giveaway. Now, if these are a little bit spicy, and one of them is ridiculous spicy. However, if you win and you are not a hot and spicy lover, I do have an alternative to sub out for the ridiculous stupid hot. So the flat iron pepper is, I've got a container of their famous I Can't Feel My Face, which, let me tell you, I love things hot, and often my meter for hot is off, but it is very hot. Super, super hot. I feel it. It makes my lips burn. They get swollen. I get like runny eyes. The whole 9 yards. Everything burns, and it goes, a little bit numb, but definitely very, very tingly. But it tastes delicious. So it's not all spice. It's actually got a lot of flavor. The other one I have is their dark and smoky pepper flakes. It's a blend of chipotle, ancho, and habanero. It's spicy, but it is really not too spicy. And if you are not tolerant of the heat, you still will enjoy the flavor. You just have to be very light-handed with it. So, and then I have their dark and smoky barbecue rub. It's in addition to the chili flakes, it's got thyme, toasted onion, and garlic and paprika in it. So, and one of their new blends of seasoning, which is chipotle peppers, roasted garlic, and toasted onion. So the other thing is even if you don't win this, right now, Flat Iron Pepper is not doing affiliate codes. So they're not doing that right now. We don't have discounts. However, if you place an order with Flat Iron Pepper, then they'll send you your confirmation email. Reply back to that confirmation email. Let them know that you are a fan or a referred by Radical Geek or Hungry Heath, and they're going to throw a little something something in your package. So, you know, it's not nothing. And their chili pepper flakes are the best. They are not lying when they say you'll never want to go back to the regular ones from the store. So I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way, and we'll wait. Oh, Hungry Heath is glad to have been introduced to the flat iron peppers, and they'll be coming out with a review for several flavors. So that'll be awesome. So, but like I said, we'll do that a little bit later. And Blue Dove says they'll opt out on the hotline. It's actually flat iron, not hotline. And like I said, even if you're not spicy, I do have some from flat iron that are not the burn your lips off, that just taste good. So you don't have to opt out if you don't want to. There are options that are not necessarily burn your tongue off, even taking account for my affinity for spice. I've got some that are for no spice, and I've also got some dehydrated garlic and onion that we can toss in for you as well. So, you know, that's up to you. Oh, and Jen says they bought some Bustelo, one of my favorites. So, we're going to do things in stages today. Tonight, I was originally going to do a red velvet waffle. Not a stuffed waffle, just a regular mini waffles. But I thought about the fact that I just made rotisserie chicken, and I don't have ribs for tomorrow. I didn't make pork belly today. It's a lot of chicken. And then the next thing on that Two Crazy Ketos challenge, they've got a lunch meat coming up, and there's a lot of leftovers. And I thought I would revisit something that was trendy for keto way back that we don't seem to be making anymore because we've gotten away from, like, coconut flour and almond flour. To be honest, I haven't tried it with pork rinds to see how they come out, but I do know that the Hungry Heath channel did do some pork rind tortillas. We are going to make some they call it keto naan. I'm going to tell you, it's kind of like a hybrid between a flatbread, a naan, a tortilla. It doesn't exactly roll up because it will break, but it does have like a nice bready sort of flat naan-ish kind of texture. It's not as fluffy as bread, but it is, they're very tasty and they're going to work great. And I'm just going to toss some taco fixings on there after the fact. So what I've got in my bowl, oh, and we're going to cook them on the Blackstone. So you can see my Blackstone's already here. And I'll turn it on once we have the dough together. And Blue Dove says garlic pepper is about as hot as she goes. What I have is the hatch green pepper. It's hatch green chilies. It's questionable. You might like them. They might be spicy for you. I don't know. But garlic pepper and those hatch green chilies are, to me, fairly close. But maybe Hungry Heath can weigh in on that. Oh, Hungry Heath says they gave up on making their pork rind tortillas when they discovered the egg life wraps. So, and Lisa says they made 2 whole chickens. So it's a lot of chicken and they'll have to freeze some. Yeah, and that's why I won't be able to do all of these challenges, even with all of our household eating. It's too much food. Cool Kid Keto has joined us. Say hey, cool kids, and all of the Radical Geeks. Just trying to get the dogs to wind down early before the fireworks. Yeah, hopefully they're done in our neighborhood. So, okay, 3/4 cup coconut flour. About half a tablespoon of salt. It's just Redmond. It's our regular salt that we all love. 1/4 teaspoon baking powder. One half tablespoon, which is 1.5 teaspoons of psyllium husk powder. And then I have about a half a teaspoon each of garlic paste and herb paste. And I'm just gonna scrape those in. Come on, garlic, get out of there. Right into the dish. So they're not real hard. As you can see, that's basically everything. Oh, my garlic paste is like stuck in this little cup. It'll come off. There we go. And then what I have here is a 1.5 cups of hot water. It's not hot, it's hot like from the tap. But I'm gonna start pouring some of that in here. Not all of it, because you will probably need about a cup, maybe a little more. And at first it seems like, oh, that's a lot of water for 3/4 of a cup. But psyllium husk and coconut flour both are super absorbent. Let's see, more hellos. And then Hunger, he says their neighborhood started with fireworks last weekend. Only a little piece of our neighborhood does fireworks, but they go big. It was like an hour and a half of fireworks. And now I gotta say, they were pretty cool, but honestly, it was really a long time. So I'm glad that they had their big shindig last night, and it's basically done. City, I believe, is also already done there, so we should be in good shape. So, an extra hello to Air Fry and Auntie. And I'm just gonna add, I can see how dry it is. Dropped a little bit on my counter, throw it back in. And you can mix this with your hands if you want. Sometimes that gives you a better feel for your dough. But I am just going for it with my spatula. That's good enough for me. I'll get my hands in there shortly. So, and it is still very dry. Like with as humid as it is, I would have expected this to moisten up much faster. But it's what it is. And you do want the water to be pretty hot, not so hot that you burn your hands if you're sticking them in there, because that would be terrible, but hot enough that it gets everything good and activated, because we're going to cover it and rest it. And so yeah, I'm right about a cup of water seems to be about right. You can get rid of this to the side. Oh, Reichwin says at least the neighbor who used to shoot off his guns has moved out, so it's only fireworks. Yeah, I think I would probably be upset if people were shooting guns off. That would be like one step too far in our little cul-de-sac. And strangely, our dog, Dyson, was really freaked out last night. And in the past, the fireworks haven't bothered him so much. But last night, he was just like off the hook. We had to use his thunder shirt, and he had to come to bed with us. You know, normally he has his own little special spot downstairs. So it was just a wild thing. Oh, and Great Life says they did not think their meal prep through with KetoCon this week. Guess they're gonna have to freeze. Yep. That's not so bad though, because then when you get home, especially if you freeze it into like a whole meals, you make your frozen dinners. When you get home and you're tired and done because you've peopled all weekend at the con, those microwave meals will be a fantastic blessing. And Hunger, he says they're going to start packing tonight. I, of course, am not going to KetoCon. It's too close to too many other events for me, and then also there's funds and vacation time. All my job changes. And Blue Dove says, okay, they commented they do like green chilies, but just don't use it often. Yeah. Well, hopefully, and we'll just see how it goes. And you can always gift them to a friend if you find out you don't like it. So, there's always a good thing. All right, I'm gonna set my spatula aside. I've gotten all my dough together. And then I will go ahead and don my gloves, because what we're going to do now is take your dough and we're going to squish it together and divide it into 5 balls. And just lots of back and forth conversation about KetoCon. Oh yeah, yeah, I can't make it to KetoCon. I'll be at Ketopalooza. Unfortunately, that's the next big con I can make. It's just a lot to do locally here. Oh, I missed a bunch of flour in the bottom. See, that's why you need to get in there with your hands. So, and you should know, this comes out like super soft. So, and that's okay, because like I said, both the coconut flour and the psyllium husk are gonna come together and solidify just a bit. And then we're gonna press it in a tortilla press. So, still very crumbly. All right, so I've got my first 2 pieces. Oh, Hungry says I better be at KPL for his birthday. Oh, you know it, and you don't know what shenanigans may or may not happen. I'm just saying, you should be prepared. So you're just gonna put them there in balls, like a golf ball and a half size. So just scoot it to the side. Grab yourself another amount for a ball. And the nice thing about these is that they don't have to be like super crazy exact unless you are using them for tracking, in which case you would want to weigh. Because I'm in maintenance, I'm not like that overly stressed about being exact to the second. Maybe I should do better, but right now, also it's my birthday weekend, so no. I think I made the first 2 a little big, but that's alright. I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to just have to tear some off of these to make my 5. Which is also fine. Sometimes that's what happens. Oversized golf ball size, and I was making them like much bigger. Just tear off a hunk. So, oh, Air Fry Nanny is asking if anyone wrote down the amounts. Probably not, but I can always add them to the description later. And I'll go over it again though. It's 3/4 of a cup coconut flour, 1.5 teaspoons psyllium husk powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking powder, and about a 1/2 tablespoon of Redmond salt, and 1/2 teaspoon each of garlic paste and herb paste. Alright, so that's it for this for now. Now we're going to cover it up and we let it rest for about 10 minutes. And we take this off and clean up our table. So that's going to sit and rest for 10 minutes. And I've got here a tortilla press. So it's a cast iron press. And in my tortilla press, I have cut the sides and top off of a Ziploc bag. This is like an essential skill that you need for these. It really makes a huge difference. You can also use parchment sheets, but for a singular batch, I find that the plastic works great, especially with these because of the fat in the coconut flour. So this is perfect, and this is what we'll be using once we let these rest. I'm going to go ahead and turn the Blackstone on. My dog's going to freak out because the squeaking makes him very nervous. I'm sorry about that, guys. He'll stop in a second. It's all right. It's all right. We're just cooking. Every squeak, he's going to go off. I am sorry for that high-pitched whining. There we go. It's all good. See? All back to normal. He's smiling though. He's got a doggy smile, even though he's freaking out. Anyways, that's it for these. We're just going to turn the heat down a little because it is too warm, even though it has to heat up. I made it squeak again. No. No, no. Alright. Hey, Attila, if you are listening and paying attention, can you come help with Dyson? He's being too loud for the live stream. 3/4 cup coconut flour. Our friend Auntie is confirming. Oh, you're being too loud. Too loud. We like quiet doggies. Here, I'm gonna give him a little piece of chicken. There we go. That'll make him quiet. A little piece of chicken. Oh, I'm sorry, Great Life. Yeah. It's weird. One thing about him. Yeah, I set off all the dogs. It's two things. Squeaks, like the screeching from the knobs turning, and when things beep. Like if you open the fridge and it takes too long, and it makes those 3 beeps, that like makes him wildly crazy.
And this is why he can't have nice things.
So, and he seems to be okay because I gave him a piece of chicken. All right, so while we're letting our dough rest, so sorry for that dog chaos, but now he's going inside, so you'll hear him bark again when he realizes that he's no longer that close to mom. But he has more people inside. So, anyways, so let's talk about our cold brew coffee, because I know I should have cooked hush puppies. That's just hilarious. So, okay, so this is my cold brewer. It has a seal with a rubber gasket lid to hold everything in. Then there is a second gasket here that is around a micron filter. It does come off so you can clean and everything, but right now, because it's going to go straight into the jar, it's a micron filter. It has super teeny tiny netting holes, and that keeps a lot of the silt out, not all of it. Cold brew coffee gets silt. After you are done with it brewing, I often then take one of my little net filters and pour it through that into a second pitcher. But oh, and Strong says their dog's having dinner, so was not fazed by Dyson. Anyways, sorry that Dyson freaked out. Man, squeaky stuff makes him bonkers, as you can tell. So, and my pitcher here is actually nice. I actually got this off a Kickstarter. It was called the Arctic, and the glass is super high quality, lab grade glass, etc., etc. Unfortunately, when they developed their design, they got their design stolen. My plastic is escaping. There we go. Just close it. So anyways, and then so immediately, even before it was out to their backers, there were a bunch of knockoffs available on Amazon. People were buying them and they were busting and breaking and then complaining to Arctic, and they were like, they're not ours, stop buying them. So be very careful and make sure when you purchase your glass pitchers, regardless of what kind of brewer you're buying, that you are getting heavy lab grade material. That is what you need for things like brewing, whether it's hot or pour over or cold brew. So let me show you how easy cold brew is though. I'm going to go ahead and I've got my coffee. You do want a chunkier coffee. Oh, Air Friend Annie says yesterday her friend's yellow lab got into her adult son's bedroom and ate an entire plastic jar of fart spray he intended to play a trick on a coworker with. Ew. Oh, is the dog okay? That sounds disgusting. Anyway, so, but I have a very generous amount. The same amount you would use to make an entire pot of coffee. This is a 1500 milliliter or 7-cup brewer. And Air Fryer Nanny says that he's fine, but a lot of essential oils were sprayed. So I'm just going to put my grinds in. They're actually a little bit bigger than our typical 3 grind. It's probably about 3.5, between the 3 and 4 on my grinder. And it seems like a lot because you're going to spill some as you fill it, as I just did. Fortunately, we're outside, so whoop. And we just get that in here. It does take me a moment. Oh, and the Blue Dove is surprised that the Warden and Hungry Heath are getting ready to pack already. And Hans is going to have to smoke up 4 pounds of bacon ends in pieces. Oh, that sounds great. I do miss that I can't go to KetoCon, but you know, you can only do so many conventions in 1 year. And so for me, the gaming, I have to balance all of the things that I need to do, including the fact that I'm a department head on a convention, which quite frankly costs a lot of money, but you do those things because you love it. So okay, so I've got all my grinds in here, and we go ahead and we install it right back into the pitcher. You make sure that the seal is good, and then we take our pitcher of filtered water right out of the fridge. Now, just like you do with hot pour over coffee, so it will filter through right away because of the loose grind, but you don't want to add a whole bunch of water, just a bit, and then we set it aside and let it bloom. Well, you must have patience. So I'm going to check my griddle. Now, if you are cooking on a Blackstone and not in a pan, if you have a pan, you want to give it a little spritz. But we're going to mash these out and get these coconut wraps going. Just give this a second. It just takes like 30 seconds. You want, just like hot brew coffee, for the grinds to absorb some of the moisture. Oh, Great Life, thanks for saying you like my top. It's great. I bought it because I don't like to be without sleeves, but also it's stinking hot. Let's face it. It's already, the sun's going down and it's still 87, and then the heat index is bringing up to like 97 out here. I am hot. So, but now it's been like 30 seconds, and we're going to go ahead, and now we can slowly add in the rest of our water. While I'm doing that, Jen is asking about how the interview for my job was. So it was awkward all around, but also hilarious, because again, I've worked with everybody. So we started up our meeting. It's not a Zoom, but we started up our video, and they said, well, so we're supposed to talk for half an hour. I see, you know, you're still doing the job you've been doing. Do you still like it? And I said yes, and then we basically told jokes and made fun of each other. So there's my entire 32-ounce pitcher of ice cold water. And if Attila wants to, he can come put that pitcher back in the fridge for water later. But that is it for your cold brew. Was that not stupid easy or what? Now this goes into the fridge, and you let it steep for at least 24 hours. And if you are smart, you don't touch it for 48. I am not smart. I don't have that kind of patience. But that's it for your cold brew. And you can see it's coming right through, but sitting there in the ice cold will be really good for it. And we'll talk more about that. But now I'm going to drink my cold brew. Let's get these coconut wraps done. Wait until you see how fast these go. The hardest part is what I'm doing right here. Take your ball of dough, throw it in here, and give it a good smash and a press. You don't have to be super crazy about smashing. You can make cold brew out of any coffee. Yes, you can make it out of Bustelo. You might back it off a little bit because it's so finely ground. You will get more silt But I'm going to take my first coconut wrap and throw it right on the griddle. And while that one cooks, we'll smash the next one. Oh, I over smashed it. So when you're foolish and you use too much weight, just pat it back in and fix it. Easy peasy, no worries, because this is an extremely flexible dough. We'll re-smash just a little bit to even that out. Oops. I get carried away. I remember making actual tortillas and you use a lot of muscle there. These don't require that muscle. Now it's going to be crooked, but that's all right. And I got it folded over. Like, good job. But that's okay. Again, it's very flexible. We don't got to worry too much. The nice thing about these is that often, even in restaurants, naan is not perfect shape. That's not our goal with this. Our goal with this is just because we don't want to roll it out by hand. Lazy versus making a perfect shape. So, and then I'm being asked if, one second here, let me get this one on. My first one is ready to flip, and there it is. So they're as fast as that. You just come under, lift it up, flip it over. It will only be seconds now for that first one to be done. So even more, I want to get this last one on the griddle. But so I highly encourage you to get, oh, I tore it. We'll just piece it back on. Goodness gracious. See, I was getting too exuberant. The nice thing though is these are very easy to, you just squish your dough back together, piecemeal it back together. It's fragile from the gentleness of the coconut flour. So those things do happen. There you go, one last sizzle. Put everything back, get rid of our dish. And this first one is ready to pull off, so I've got a towel here to set them on. I'll hold it up for you to see, it's still hot. So there you go. Whew. Let it sit there for a minute, and then I'm going to flip the rest. Okay, that last one needs a second or so more. But so yeah, that is basically it. And then let's see, what do we got here in the comments? Great Life asking if I found the Bustelo Brazilian can. I just ordered it from online, but it hasn't got here yet. So, and then the warden says they drank on theirs for a week since it was in a pouch and it didn't remove. Also, it takes them longer since they're not a cold coffee fan. See, I love cold coffee, hot coffee, 3-day-old coffee. Not 3 days, but day-old coffee's fine. And then, and Lisa says she usually removes the grounds and then keeps it for a day after the first 24 hours. That's also good too. I leave my grounds in for at least the first 24 hours and up to 48. I don't keep it longer than that. Afterwards, I then strain it out into a new pitcher. Yes, they're very nice. They come out great. People commenting. For this last one, I don't know. It was just like very stubborn. There we go. I'm gonna throw this one to my plate. That one may be a little dark, but that's okay. It's just, they're delightful. That one's like perfection. That last one just needs a second more and they'll be all set. But yeah, so that's it for these coconut flour wraps. They're really nice. They're a little fragile tonight, even more than usual. I might have needed a pinch more of the psyllium husk, but they'll still be great. There we go. And now you just cover this so they rest under there in the steam. And I shut off my Blackstone. I'm gonna get rid of these little flecks of things here. So, and basically the Blackstone, my Blackstone is fine. It needs I'm gonna have to, after the live stream, pump up the heat on it and give it another coat of oil, because the little bit on there, not a little bit, it was 5. We made 5 of these coconut wraps. So 3/4 cup of coconut flour really goes a long way. So, but you do just like regular tortillas. You wrap them in the towel to steam. But also, I am starving, so I don't care that it's going to crumble and fall apart. You guys will have to deal with some messy eating. I've got here a little bit of that rotisserie chicken and some cheddar cheese. And then I've got some avocado mash. I was lazy to get, I didn't go to the store for the fresh avocado. They're gonna be on sale next week, so I waited. And but I always have these guacamole mashes. They're delightful and just right. It's one good serving. And then finally our garlic and green salsa. I just wasn't in the mood for like extra hot and spicy. I just wanted a lot of flavor. So, garlicky green, go it is. And I put way too much filling for my one little wrap, but I don't care. I don't want a larger grease trap. I like the one that I have because it makes sure that I clean it, and I empty it every other time. Medium heat. Air fried Annie is asking what temp to cook at. You get your cast iron or your non-stick pan. You want it hot, but not like not high heat. You want it you want medium high. That's what it is. So that's all there is to it. Like I said, it's pretty fragile because I probably could have used a little bit more psyllium husk, but I don't know. It seems to be doing all right. I will say that adding some of the recipes I saw didn't add any of the seasoning to it. But I like the garlic and herbs in there. I think that if you don't add those, that they become a little bit too coconutty, and the herbs really make a big difference. So, but yeah. For seasoning my Blackstone, I'm asked what kind of oil I use for seasoning. A lot of times I just throw lard on there, but also avocado oil, sometimes coconut oil, but mostly lard. I'll probably throw, I don't know, but also avocado oil is really easy, so that's probably what I'm going to throw on there tonight. It had a little bit of residue from scraping at it, and I just think that it's probably going to be smart to give it a quick little clean up and a wipe down with some oil, because it's so humid that I don't want it to get no rust. Oh, and Air Fried Annie says they're glad they have a gas stove at least. Yeah. Our stove inside is electric. I've been thinking about whether we want to let's see, whether we would want to get a gas line installed, and then we could convert the Blackstone to gas and also then convert to a gas stove. I just don't know though, because it's kind of a lot of money for things like that. So, and our friend Annie is asking, she has garlic mash with some olive oil with crushed basil. Does the garlic mash have olive oil in it? If it has the fat in it, I might question using it because I don't know how that'll work with it, but you could try it. How bad could it be? It seems to be pretty flexible. Mm. Mm. Delicious. And very messy, like a proper taco. I will say a very soft taco, but really good. And like I said, you saw that took like no time at all. You guys, we've made our coffee. We've talked about the giveaway. We've made our taco. We've done our recipe, and we've still got plenty of time. Oh, and Great Life says they were in the kitchen. What's in the wrap? Do you mean the recipe for the coconut wrap, or do you mean what I put in it? I put in rotisserie chicken, extra sharp cheddar cheese, avocado mash, and garlicky gringo salsa. Oh yeah, so no, yeah, that's fine. The garlic and the garlic mash with the herbs would be delightful. I don't think they would work in the toaster oven. The dough is very, very delicate, and like it'll fall apart here on me, and I'll wind up with my fork, which I brought out. So, really good. Yeah. So, oh, good, because that's what I said. I repeated the stuffings. So let's talk about this giveaway. I don't know that this is gonna work, but let's try it. I'm gonna switch over to the pick a winner, and hopefully that's what you guys see. Let me know if you do. It looks right to me. So I'm gonna switch over here. It's got the URL. I'm gonna click the fetch, cross your fingers. Anything goes. Are you guys seeing it before I push the button? Somebody give me a thumbs up, anybody? I know it takes a second before the audio goes, but okay, Great Life gives a drum roll. I'm gonna take that as a yes. You see it? And oh, Great Life says they made a huge batch of ground beef and chorizo to use as a base for a pizza bake. That sounds amazing. Let's see. It's waiting. Okay. I guess you have to click it twice. Oh, there you go. Sia Hummel has one. Oh, I don't know if she's even here today, but that's okay. Sia Hummel, you need to send me an email at radicalgeek42@gmail.com. radicalgeek42@gmail.com. Send me your shipping address, and I will get these spices out to you. It's not a year's supply of poop coffee. I don't have that kind of money. And honestly, I don't want to punish people with poop coffee. It's delicious, but you know, mentally that's a little weird. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back to the regular live stream. All right, so awesome. See you, Hummel. So again, radicalgeek42@gmail.com. Let me type it in here. I'm right at the laptop. I forgot. Of course, I can't talk and type at the same time. Email and send your... Sorry. I can't type and do that at the same time. There we go. Okay, so that's one of the benefits of having the laptop here. The other part, though, is that it takes up table space that I don't enjoy. I like having my table. Oh, my taco's falling apart, guys, because I let it sit here. I can still pick it up, though. Mm. I don't know about you guys, but I love rotisserie chicken. The rotisserie was the best reason for winning for buying the Omni Plus. So that's my Instapot air fryer, but it also has a rotisserie in it, and it's just fantastic. I almost like it so much that I want to buy a bigger rotisserie, but it seems to do fine. I can do a 5-minute, I can do a 5-pound chicken, so you know I have to be careful not to buy them too big. But I can also do a pretty good size pork loin in there, and so the rotisserie pork loin comes out great, as does the eye of round roast if you rotisserie them and then you slice it for lunch meat. Cool Kid Keto says they've only recently started deviating from BBB and E. I would say coconut wraps might be too much on your digestion for BBB, for just coming off of BBBE, and you reintroducing slowly. And I'm only a little sorry that I am stuffing this in my face. It is very, very tasty. But yeah, so I had my interviews. I met with 2 different people, and basically the outcome is we're all set. They can't imagine any reason that they wouldn't approve my departmental change, and all the boxes are checked. Now it has to go through back to HR, and they have to process it. And as part of the process thing, now it also has to go to a governance board and then a VP for approvals. So nobody expects there to be any bumps in the road, just time taking. And that's also that my department code can change by 2 digits and my cost component. So it'll be nice though. It's been a crazy time. I'm excited though because it'll be really good for me to just be very situated. It also permanently puts me on the program that I'm working right now. So I will no longer be loaned out. I am 100% on my particular program, which is great. I love it and I'm really happy with it. So conversion is a great thing for me. Our friend Andy says I sound like a Schoolhouse Rock episode. I don't know why, but okay. Oh, hey J-Dog, you missed everything. But that's okay, because we're really mostly glad you're here. You even missed the giveaway. But if you look up, you can see that Sihamu won our flat iron peppers. And so they can send me the email to get the email to them, or shipped out to them. Let's see. Oh, and Betsy says they just got an Instapot air fryer from a friend with no instructions. Is that is it the lid for your air fryer? I mean, is it an air fryer lid for your Instapot, or is it one of the large toaster ovens? Because they have the Vortex and then the Omni Plus, and they've got 2 of them. Let me look back. I see that Great Life says I missed their question. Oh, and Great Life is asking if my tattoo has meaning. They're sure it does, but it does. It's kind of a long story. story. 1 second. I don't know what that is. Yesterday when we were riding our bikes, I swallowed a bug, and now periodically today I have like an irritation in my throat. So I don't know if it scratched back there or what, but I need more fluids. So okay, so but yeah, so the tattoo, it was a custom design I have a love for things electric. And then it has a Triskelion. It's got some little teeny bits of coloring in it. So it was just a very personal thing, and it's obviously a combination of a quasi-cyber, quasi-tribal blend of designs. So it has kind of, it's a lot of personalness for me. But also, I think it also looks nice too. Let's see. Oh, Patty got the job and gave her 2-week notice a week ago, so she's going to start a new company on the 11th with a big step up from what she's doing. Wow, go Patty! That's awesome. Congratulations. That's got to feel fantastic. So, let's see. Oh, it's the Vortex Plus for the Instapot. Yeah, you can definitely pull up the manual online. I hesitate to tell you too much about it here because it's got a lot of little buttons and stuff, but I believe the Vortex Plus also has a rotisserie in it. Ooh, so you will be great. Oh, Cool Kid said they've been frustrated with work and they put in a transfer to another store, which triggered the owner to come and try to create a new position. Well, how do you feel about the new position, about that? Would you be interested in that, or do you just need to get out because the environment's gotten poor? It could go either way. I never know which way I'm going to feel about stuff like that when I've been in those positions. Great Life says they would hate to lose Nicole, for sure. Let's see. I missed whatever Hungry He said that was funny, but that's all right. Let's see, I'm going to go back and find it. Let's see. I don't know, I don't see it. Oh. Hungry He said when he worked at a cabinet company, he asked for a raise and they handed him a ladder. Oh, that is a bad joke. Dennis says about tattoos aside, about slowly introducing solar radiation. No. And then let's see, but yeah, so congratulations to Patty. But and then of course Cool Kid Keto says that, you know, anybody would feel good about being offered a promotion, so that's good. You know, if you are interested in the promotion, I can see how for some people, like, honestly, why didn't they just offer it to you in the first place? You clearly deserve it. So I have to cut some of this up now because I let it sit. And my guacamole has made things too soft. And I put the stuffing for like 3 tacos into my one wrap here. Then Great Life says their work as rotating therapist to another unit, but their boss said they wouldn't be in that because their PT would kill her. Oh, the boss and PT are siblings. Well, And then Airfry Auntie says she's heard that most people don't leave jobs because of the job, but they leave managers and supervisors. I can tell you in my case, that is 100% true. A few years ago, we got briefly a horrendous manager. Oh my God, she was horrible. Now, where I work, and especially in the department I'm in, like, I was the youngin', having only been there like 9 or 10 years. When I hit 10 years, most of the other people in the department had been there like 20, 25, 27, you know, they've been there. They know the story, they know the deal, they're obviously dedicated. But we got a new manager in and she was like, I don't even know how to explain. She was very perky, which is fine, but also really super micromanaging, controlling. But while being this micromanager, controlling sort of individual, trying to cover it up with a layer of like, hey everybody, today's team day, let's go outside and play this stupid game where we make you wear Velcro hats and we throw balls at your head, which nobody wanted to do, so it was more like punishment. And you know, stuff like where we had been used to a hybrid sort of work, you know, working from home when you had stuff you need to focus on, coming in the office to do your agile scrum stuff and have team meetings, you know, being very flexible because we had a lot of off hours. So it got like really intense on this. We need core hours where people are present. We can't, you know, and that you must be in the office between 8 and 4:30 every day, and you know, you have to pack your lunch. You can't leave the property, and like really crazy. And I will tell you, people just started transferring. 1, 2, 3, 4 people who'd been there for, you know, decades were like, I can't take this. And I was like actually actively talking to people going, all right, I'm ready to move to infrastructure. They've been asking for me anyways, so let's find what's open. And I was right there when the guy who is my boss now suddenly became our boss, and she was sent away somewhere else. And I was like, oh, never mind, I'm all good. And people just sort of like trickled back into the department, and then we've kind of moved in mass to this new piece. So I've heard through the grapevine that she went to a different lateral position, and then she was moved back down into a different position, and no longer a manager. But she just wasn't ready for it. You know, I swear, I'm sure that she's super nice, but she was just definitely not ready for managing like this. Plus, she had really modern ideas about development, which was, and was trying to put them in, which makes sense in certain places, where she wanted everybody to know how to do everybody else's job, so you had that flexibility of there was no single threading kind of stuff. But it took out the piece that we have some very specialized items that you can't just drop in someone who does Java and make them do COBOL, or you can't take a database analyst and be like, suddenly we would like you to do this server admin. You know, there are things you can do that you can all do the same, and then there are things that are too specialist and you can't ask people to do that many things. So it was a challenge. Let's see. Oh, and Cool Kid. Oh, Jen asked Cool Kid if Han is Nicole's supervisor. And Cool Kid Keto says she's definitely the boss. But Cool Kid Keto basically saying that at their current job, they're doing 2 jobs between their department and being an inventory specialist. Yeah, that's too much. They definitely need to split that up. It's definitely an unfairness. So that definitely sounds way too stressful and like something that they ought to be fixing. So if you decide to stay, I hope that they really do create that position for you and get you and get things corrected for you so that you have a better position. Oh, and J-Dog says that they also agree about the supervisor manager, but some will also leave if they don't feel appreciated and they see more dollars elsewhere. True. That is one thing I've been asked a lot is what would it take for me to leave? Because I get recruited from other companies and I tell them it'll be very hard for them to convince me to leave. But if the right opportunity at the right price were to come my way, I wouldn't turn my nose up at it. I would absolutely take it into consideration. Am I looking to move up? I don't know. It's kind of a lot of hassle. I like the position I'm in. However, if the right position came open at the right time, of course I would look at it. Oh, and Hungry He says says now dinner is just an open-faced enchilada. That would be good too, and kind of, except for it's folded over. I just don't want to get my hands all messy. Cocaine Keto says she told them to let her think about it and to leave her alone until after KetoCon. That seems smart, actually. And Jen says she likes her current job, but there's no room for growth, and she's ready for more money. So moving to a team full of awesome people. That's great. Yeah, and that's exactly how it should be. That's when you feel like you're ready to grow, when you're ready for that move. So, I have another sip here. I'm going to show you now that these have rested a little bit, how they become soft and pliable now. So you can see they're really nice. And if you leave them a little thicker than I do, because I try not to, but I get so aggressive with my press. If you leave them a little thicker, they do become slightly more naan-like and slightly less tortilla-like and a little sturdier. After this, I'm just going to put them in a container on a parchment so that the psyllium has more time to firm up. Oh, and Blue Dove is asking if I'm going to make up a coffee lovers list for Amazon Prime Day. I've been thinking about upgrading their grinder since you said one that crushes is better. Yeah, a brew grinder. You know, I hadn't really thought about it. I may think about that, and I'll see what I can come up with. I know that some Prime Day deals are already live. They've got some great TV deals, but I haven't looked at their kitchen appliances to see what they've got going on. I'll take a gander and see what I can come up with. So, it's too bad that I just have the one camera. I know I said this last time, but it would be cool to be able to turn the camera. Right over here on my fence, there's a male cardinal, and he is looking extra super bright red, and I can see his little orange beak from here. I'd love to share that with you, but you know, even if I was able to turn the camera, he would just fly away the minute I come out from behind the counter anyways. So, you know, I'm not sure when Prime Day is. I know some of it's coming up really quick. So I need someone to probably look that up. But I know it's really soon. It's coming right up because I'm starting to see more ads about Prime Day and all of that stuff. So a coffee gadget and maker list. Yeah, I actually have a few things I'm going to pick up to up my espresso game too. So it's a good idea. J-Dog with the facts. Prime Day is July 12th and 13th. So, speaking of facts, I went off on all kinds of tangents. How about some cold brew facts? Hello, we should totally, you know, geekify our cold brew. Cold brew has a lot of different stories about origins. Before I get into it, Jen is asking if I played Stroganoff yet. That I posted a picture of on Facebook, and the answer is no. I'm waiting to open it for next weekend. I've got a lot going on because we're getting ready for the parade tomorrow. I'm a little bit worried about it because it's going to be like super hot, and hydration, we're not going to the same places where we normally get water refills. So I did nix my Wonder Woman outfit because it's kind of a fall weight. And I was like already at 91 with the heat index, and it's going to have a feel like 102, and the humidity is going to be like 98% and is what the weather report is. I was like, there's no way I'm wearing a fall cycling kit. So we're going to wear our Pride jerseys because they are lightweight mesh made for summer and also silly and colorful. All right, anyways. Yeah, back to it, the facts. So, you always think of Italy when you think of coffee, but cold brew coffee, they've got origins coming in the early 1600s from like Kyoto, Japan. So, and from there it kind of like spread out through Asia, but it kind of stayed there and didn't really travel out until the 1900s. And it didn't actually make its appearance in the United States until the 1960s. Gray Life is asking, what's for my birthday dinner? I actually ate my birthday dinner for breakfast, and I had it today. I was at the grocery store, and they had T-bone steaks for $5.99 a pound. So I bought steaks, and this morning I tossed them on the grill, and it was divine. It was perfect, held me over most of the day. So I am very pleased with that. And then now I'm having my leftover rotisserie chicken taco. I gotta say, it's pretty good, especially with my cold brew. And in the 1960s, it came to the United States. Now, is there cold brew like ours today? No, they had cloth filters, and they used, similar to some of the other brews that I've showed you with the slow drip and the cold water though. That was in Kyoto, Japan. I think that we've established that we get some great coffee out of Greater Asia. So they've got some good innovations. Now, one of the things that I'll have to share with you sometime, I don't know if it's going to work for a coffee talk. We can't really see it in action, is the super tall slow drip coffee. That's something that also originated in Kyoto, Japan, but it has a, it's like super tall, and it literally just very slowly, like one drip every few minutes. So it actually takes like almost a full day or 2 days to brew, but it is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. And of course, the actual brew is delicious. Why cold brew, you might wonder? Because we could just brew our coffee over ice and then have iced coffee. Cold brew, for those of you who have been asking about a lower acid coffee, reduces the amount of acid in the coffee, making it slightly less bitter, a little bit smoother. You don't have to have your cold brew coffee on ice. You can also drink it without ice, just straight up cold. Again, it was 90 outside, so I'm having ice in everything. The other thing you can do though is you can pour it into your mug and you can heat it up. You can heat it up on a coffee warmer. You can heat it up on a pot on the stove. You can microwave it, and it is every bit as delightful, and it does not bring that acidity back. It's a very low acid, very smooth cup of coffee. So it also removes some of the oils, especially if you do like I do, which is after the cold brew goes, once you take the grounds out, if you go ahead and refilter it. So those are all those things. Let's see, we've got lots of talk about the Prime Day. Great Life still hasn't decided on an espresso machine. They need something entry level, because the ones you really want, yeah, they're way expensive. You know, the day I wish that I could spend, you know, 2K on an espresso machine. I'm sure my little coffee heart would be super happy, but my credit card might have some tears. So, and J-Dog says his biggest issue with Prime Day is trying to figure out exactly what's really on sale versus what's just normal price, not marked up and then marked down to appear like a sale, sort of like Christmas. I agree so much on that. I often find that I don't actually, last year I don't even know if I bought anything for Prime Day. Actually, I might have bought, I think I bought some sale keto chow. Might have been some savory chicken, but I'm not sure. I don't remember for sure. That might have been Black Friday. I might have bought it on both. I don't know. But also, Raikwen says yes, but it also depends on what they really need. So a lot of things are not really on sale. You have to research it. Yep, and where the product is shipping from. Third-party sellers often never ship because they sell out. Yes. And Blue Dove says yes, they've made cold brew and used it to food enough to add keto chow. Oh, that's an interesting idea. That's smart. My air frying auntie wants a barista on Prime Day. Well, I'm hearing fireworks, and I think that's maybe my signal that I need to go and take care of my dog and thundershirt him for the evening. You guys already heard him going crazy just from my little squeaks on my Blackstone. So why don't I go take care of that? Cool Keto says their mom has a 2K fancy pants machine, and then when something's wrong with it, it costs a fortune for a technician to work on it. Yep, that's not a DIY thing. Oh, J-Dog's looking for a new tripod for his new camera. Oh, the analysis paralysis is in overdrive. I bet. That's a big decision though. So, good luck. So I'm gonna go and get things situated since I do hear fireworks starting off in the distance. I'm sure we'll hear them for several days now. But, and Strong said happy birthday. Well, thank you. I will have a good one. And probably tomorrow, after this is fully posted and everything is uploaded properly, I'll go ahead and edit the description and put the recipe in there. Alright, happy 4th everyone. And thanks for all the birthday wishes. So, alright, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.